What's your name, sir?
Jack Smith.
And Jack, tell us what happened in
From
New York.
Seattle. From Seattle.
From Seattle. And Jack, what happened in New York?
Well, I was walking along in what I thought was a peaceful demonstration, and in fact it was as far as the marchers were concerned. But the police got violent. What they did is they herded us.
This is on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Not yet there. They herded us on there. They let us on there, and there's a video of them with a megaphone telling us not to go on. But I mean, there were like 5,000 people in the march. I never heard anything. Okay, so what happens? We get on, they lead us up the road, and then all of a sudden they close ranks on both ends, and we're in a cage.
And by that time you're on the bridge?
Yeah, we're on the bridge. So then we don't know what's happening, and it goes back and forth for a while. Then they go to say, you're all under arrest. So, under arrest, what they did, and I don't have exact times, probably need them when I go to court, but they took us, and all of us were locked up with our hands behind our back, which I ended up staying for 6 hours. And I have bruises to show it.
And Jack, shows your hand mark. This is where they cuffed you and dragged you.
No, they didn't drag me. They just left me like this. My shoulders are still, you don't see those, but they're hurting. I got a stiff neck as a result of it.
And there was more.
But they left us in the rain for 2 hours while they did administrative details. I was drenched to the bone. And finally I yelled out, Jesus, my nose is just dripping like a waterfall. And the guy that was next to me, who I had no idea who he was, he just wanted a 700, turned his back to me and said, use my back to blow your nose. Because I couldn't do it myself. So then they put us into a cage, a motorized cage where there were 25 of us, and they took us to Brooklyn. They left us in that cage with our hands behind our back for another 2.5 hours.
No bathroom, nothing.
No. And then came back and said, well, we found out there's not enough room for you here after 2.5 hours. We're going to take you back to Manhattan.
Go ahead, Jack. What happened after that?
They said, we're going to take you back to Manhattan. I think a few people were able to go to the bathroom at that point. Not all, but a few.
And was it men and women in the same thing? Or?
Well, the women had a separate, they had individual cages in the front. We could talk to them, but you know, we were all kind of buddies, but they were separated from us.
And how long did this ordeal last?
About 4 o'clock, and when I was released, it was 3 in the morning. And you know, when I was released, it was 3, and I walked by the gate, and there was a cop there, and he said, come, y'all come again. And I said to him, you bet you I will.
Good for you. And your name again for the record?
Jack Smith.
And Jack, you're from?
Seattle, Washington.
Okay, God bless, Jack. Go ahead, Jack.
I'm a retired lawyer, I'm an activist. As a lawyer, I always knew how to stay out of trouble. Like I was walking on the bridge, on the sidewalk. That was safe there. I ended up in the street itself. It's the first time I've ever been arrested, but it's the first time I ever didn't do the safe thing. I ain't gonna do it no more. They have made me a criminal, and now I gotta be what I am. They told me, my lawyer told me, don't do what I'm doing right now. Told me also, if you see a cop, move out of the way. You can march, but you know where I was, you didn't see me, but up on the porch, I was walking back and forth in front of the cops. They made a criminal out of me. I gotta play the part.
Okay, Jack, I'm gonna cut it off here.
What's your name?
Bill Hughes.